Hello, welcome back to another edition of Hobby News Daily. I am Danny Black, and I want to bring on my friend and one of the most impressive collections I've ever seen, Marc Mader. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm good, Danny. How are you? Thanks for having
Good.
me on.
More than my pleasure. Thanks for taking some time. I think you and I first met at a Brigantes event a couple years ago up in New York.
That's where
Um,
I recognize you from. That is
Yeah,
correct.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you blew me away with your stuff, and you've been nice enough to go back there a couple times. And I didn't make the last couple, but I absolutely wanted to share some of your stuff with our viewers and readers of the site, because
I
I think you've
appreciate it.
just got some of the most spectacular stuff I've ever seen. So thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Danny.
Um, so you are a collector of tickets, cards, pretty much photos, pretty much anything cool in the hobby is on the table. Would that be fair?
That's fair. Yeah, I what I try to do is pick a subject, and when I say subject, a player or whoever it is, and then I try to surround things around it, like a ticket, rookie card, a Type One photo that surrounds an event.
Are you working on multiple players at the same time? Do you almost have to just because of availability?
Oh, I do. Yeah, tickets are so rare and they're so scarce. And so, like to say, I'm just gonna just point out one, like
Yeah,
the
please.
Roberto Clemente debut ticket. This is the only one that exists. You
So
can't find another one. So it's it's a rare piece. Now, what I'm doing right now is building a collection around the Roberto Clemente debut ticket.
that's that. I'm
So I'm
almost.
looking for actually a couple Type One photos, maybe his goodbye on a rookie card of his
Do you ever have
right now.
a preference on a Type 1 photo? Are you looking for the one the card was made from? Are you looking for a historic moment or any Type 1 photo in their prime?
Clemente, I'd probably look for one where his 3,000th hit, his last hit was his 3,000th hit, which I have his ticket to that too somewhere around here. But yeah, and that's actually a tough ticket to find. His 3,000s.
I would assume that anytime the moment is genuine and not pre-contrived, the tickets are a lot more scarce.
That's very very true. With tickets, so debut tickets, typically if they're not on opening day, they're tough to find. Like I'm just gonna like Roberto Clemente. His wasn't on opening day. He played in a doubleheader. He played both games. He got his first hit in the first game. So it was his first hit, his debut ticket, and so that's why it's so scarce. People kept opening days and World Series tickets for the most part.
I have a ticket that I've been looking for probably 20 some years. My first
Mhm.
baseball game was August 24th, 1983, and it just happens to be the game where Tippy Martinez, an Orioles relief pitcher, picked off three batters in one inning against the Toronto Blue Jays. It's in the Orioles Hall of Fame as one of the top five games in their history, and
No kidding.
it was my first game. There's nothing else really remarkable about it. I don't think a lot of people held on to tickets. I only know of one other person that has one, and they won't let it go. So, if anybody's watching this because you want to see Mark, I'm throwing this out there. I'm looking for August 24th, 1983.
Well, shoot me a text or an email with those dates and that ticket, and I'll find you one.
You're the man.
Or I'll at
Well,
least try. I'll give it a try.
that leads to my next question. How much of this do you enjoy the chase?
The chase is where it's at. I'll tell you, there's a guy named Papa Jim that I'm friends with, and he follows me. I follow him on Instagram. And the chase is like, so he really wasn't a ticket collector. He finally found a ticket to where he took his son to his first baseball game. He didn't keep the tickets at that time. I think his son was young. Anyway, so he finally found a ticket to that game, which wasn't an opening day game. They're tough to find if they're, outside of those, the World Series or opening day. So, and yeah, so that it's the chase. It's trying to find the actual ticket is the fun of the whole thing. But not only that, but it's the moment. So this is Mickey Mantle's debut ticket,
I was going to ask
and
about that.
so I've seen plenty of these come up in auction, and the reason I like this one is there's a few reasons. It's his debut, and then the other reason is it's gate 6, which not a few people, I think people know, he wore number 6 when he came into the league, and then he got sent back down Kansas City. And then he came back up and he wore number 7, and it's got number 7. This is hard with this thing.
Yeah.
So it's got number 7 as the row number.
Oh,
So it's got gate 6, and there's different. It's fun when you can have different aspects of that. And then I have his rookie card in a 5.
oh, see to me that's the logo of the hobby. I say
This is 5.5 actually.
uh, that
And
is
then it's
the logo of the hobby, Mark. That is,
it,
if a hobby were to have a flag, it would be the 52 Mantle.
it would have to be the 52 Mantle. But then I surrounded it with this Type 1 photo of him on. This is the debut game that he was at with Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio, and they're sitting there surrounding the kid, and he actually took Joe DiMaggio's spot, after that season.
Well,
Game 6 of that World Series, of 51 World Series, was DiMaggio's last game.
a little bit of talent in that photo.
Oh, just a little bit, yeah, just a tad bit.
What's funny is, the Yankees. That's been part of their. I don't know if it's secret sauce, but they've had a Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer torch passing almost their whole history. And I know a lot of people that like the overlaps and the transitions. And there's years
kind of
yeah
anxious. That's my team, and I'm kind of anxious about their team right now. So, in the last few years, actually since 2017, I thought Judge was going to be the guy, but we'll see. That's still left to be.
A lot of people think Volpe is going to break out. So as an Orioles fan, I wish you good luck, except when you play us. So.
Dominguez is another good guy. He hit a home run in his first at bat, I think.
The Martian?
Was it him? I
don't
know if it was Dominguez. Might have been. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
Absolutely. So let me ask you a question. Do you have a set way you divide your pie, or is it that player collection, or do you go for single tickets, single cards, single photos, and
so
effort?
I probably would, if I see a photo like with the Jackie Robinson. So I found this photo, which is him stealing home in game 1, I think, this is 1955 World Series game 1 against the Yankees, and Yogi Berra, and he disputed it all the way to the day he died. The story's been told. This is a full ticket to that game.
Oh, wow.
And then I have, with these two, with that moment and this ticket, then I have his debut ticket, Jackie Robinson debut ticket.
That's got to be pretty low pop.
Yeah, I think it's up to 12 or 13 now. There's 2 that came through just this last year. I was at PSA and they showed them to me. And then his rookie card.
Yeah, one of the most beautiful cards.
Yeah, and they're out there. These aren't they're rare, but they're not super rare. But I think the more important Jackie Robinson card is his 52 tops. This one is just spectacular. It's got so many stories behind it. Not only is the first tops card, but the high you collect vintage, so the high number series with tops, 52 tops, and the whole story behind that.
Have you seen the piece of the uncut sheet that has part Mantle, part Jackie on it?
I have not.
It's cut out. It's like half a Mantle, half a Jackie.
Oh, I did see that one. Yeah, you're talking about the card. Yeah, I did see that because they're right. 311, 312.
Yeah. So I just found that.
Didn't that go for a pretty good? Didn't that go for a pretty good sum of money though?
I got to imagine it did. How cool is that?
Yeah, just the story behind it. That would be the coolest.
So the cards you pulled out, clearly you must be an art fan to some degree. I mean, some of this stuff is artistic in the look for it. Does the look of something play a fact into you choosing maybe one photograph over the other, or a full ticket versus a torn ticket? How much does that play into it?
Yeah, so I did have a couple Jackie Still Holmes tickets, just for an example, that look better than this, or better condition than this full one. But I actually love the full one better. These are so rare to get in a full, especially this year, this circa, and to a World Series game. So, and this condition isn't bad. I mean, it's full. It's got some tears to it, but but eye appeal with cards is everything to me. I would take a 252 mantle that's centered than over a 6. I don't think the value's there if it's not centered enough.
I have a Moberg 33 Gaudi,
Wow.
which the front is stunning. The back has a stamp of a rooster. But for me, the front's just gorgeous, and and it became much more affordable with the rooster stamps on the back. So.
Sure. That's like the 86 Fleer sticker Jordan had I think one of the backs had a Cincinnati Reds on it or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, people think that production problems are a new thing.
It's nothing new.
Getting a ton. Is there a specific chase that you remember that lasted years or months, or one that really you've really fought for a while and you finally landed in, and that feeling of goosebumps all over?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you. So there is. And one of the chases was the Tiger Woods badges to his masters.
Oh.
Okay. To every master. Okay.
Wow.
So just getting him to sign is a huge deal. And then to get a good badge for every masters that he was in is another huge deal. So I was able to do that over a period of years. That's his first masters.
That's so cool.
And then his second. And he won 5 altogether. And all these autos are 10s, except for I think that's his 4th. And
it's interesting to see the difference in the passes and the tickets.
Oh, isn't it crazy? Yeah. So, and this is the 2019 comeback with it.
Yeah, that's
so. And then I have his rookie card to go with it.
Well, you got
that's a 10-10. Yeah.
Do you happen to have your Montana nearby?
Okay. That's my favorite. I'm going to tell you.
I was going to tell you it's my favorite.
Is it? So this is the 10-10 you're talking about?
Yep.
Yeah,
So can you give a backstory on this?
What's that?
Is there a backstory on this?
Yeah. So in 2018, or might have been 17. Anyway, I was up on PWCC's site and in their buy it now on their website. And a guy listed it for, I think he had it displayed for 50, and I negotiated it down to 20,000 in 2008. Yeah, I think it was 18. So it was 18. Brent, the ex-owner of PWCC, put the deal together. So I bought it for 20, and then 18, that was big for that card. It was 10s were going for 5 to 8,000 at the time, and then so I ended up picking it up for 20 grand.
And if I remember correctly, what's the pop count on that?
1.
Yep, that's
a pop 1. I don't think there'll ever be another one either.
Mark, my memory's not perfect, but this was a couple years ago when you showed that card, and I remembered it from New York, and that was just absolutely blew me away. And you, just so you know, you are very generous in sharing your stuff, by the way.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, getting to even see it and hold it for a second was pretty cool.
Well, I'll tell you this: if it was just you and I on a phone call right now talking about I love talking about my collection, other people's collections, and going through it. So being on a live stream with you is an honor. So I appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you. And I just think we're sitting here talking sports anyway. I forgot I hit record. Um, so
No, not to get off Montana too quick, because
yeah,
since we jumped
no,
on
please.
that, I got his debut ticket, that's a rare one too, and it's signed. I just had it signed. Jeffrey Rosenberg from TriStar got it signed for me a few months back. And then another ticket to go with Joe Montana is the catch, both signed by both him and Dwight Clark. I think it's the only one signed by both of them.
Oh, really? That's surprising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of them were signed by Joe, but both of them were rare. He passed away.
You just raised a good question. How often do you have to seek out the autograph on top of the ticket and make the piece yourself?
Okay, so a lot. So this is another one of one. This is a Dan Marino 1010.
Okay.
All right.
Which is
He never won a Super Bowl, so it's not worth as much, but it's still a one of one. And then, so I had his debut ticket, but I didn't have it signed, so I sought that.
okay.
And the current players aren't too difficult, but with relationships in the hobby and people know what you look for. Like Jeffrey, he texts me from TriStar. He texts me all the time. Look, we got this signing coming up. If you got anything surrounding this subject, just let me know. And then and other people, Burgundy, everybody, they help me out a lot.
You just touched on where I was headed. How often are you searching, like all of us, how often are you searching eBay, the auction houses? Do you keep saved lists? Do you get up in the morning and see if something's moved? I mean, are you doing all that, or are you relying just on connections? Or how does that break down for you?
No, I probably spend an hour every day. My first part of my day is I get up and I drink my coffee looking at auction sites, eBay, everything for anything I can find. I look under all my searches, and see if there's anything there. And then even Live Auctioneer, I was on there the other day and I was bidding on a Cal Ripken Jr. debut.
See,
Got outbid.
what a fantastic ticket to get. Not that I'm biased at
Yeah,
all, but it's a great ticket.
I've been looking for that ticket, but there's so many of them. It's surprising that I can't find them too often. They don't come up too often.
Well, if you email me, I can probably get you one of those.
I will. Yeah, I am looking for one of those.
Um, I was lucky enough. I worked at the Orioles, had a sports art and memorabilia gallery a number of years ago, and I worked there, and they had a lot of different memorabilia. What got really hot at the time was the artwork of larger tickets, and
Sure.
and I'm sure you're very familiar with that. They come in all different qualities and everything else. I think that was the first time tickets as a collectible, as a piece of art, as kind of its own thing separate from other memorabilia. That I look at that as kind of the first time they made a real public appearance. I mean, do you remember when
Mhm.
you became aware of collecting tickets?
Well, the aesthetics of tickets have never been that great. I do look for aesthetics in tickets. There's one here that I wanted to show you that way ahead of their time. This is Jackie Robinson's literally his last game, and it wasn't the World Series. It was after the season was over. They went to the Japan tour, and Japan had aesthetically
Oh wow,
just great looking tickets.
that's cool.
And yeah, I actually had two of these. Um, Dan Walken from Memory Lane got them for me, and I gave one to Darren Ravel as a gift one time, and then this one I kept this one. But these aesthetically are just fine looking tickets. And this
Yeah,
is actually Jackie Robinson's last game in a Brooklyn Dodgers uniform.
I was about to say. I mean, that's nowhere near what the American tickets looked like.
Not even close, and especially in 1956. I mean, you
Right.
you couldn't see an American ticket like that.
Yeah.
Not
I
in
mean,
three, four different colors. In the back, it's they got some ads back there
and
in
that
Japanese.
not being familiar with the Japanese ticket, I assume that's a full ticket.
That's a full. That is
Yeah.
a full. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Um, so that let me ask you a question on pricing, and not that that's the most important thing at all when you collect, but half ticket or torn tickets versus full tickets. How does the market look at that? Because tickets for a period of time were made to be torn when you went to the game. How much of a
Sure.
deduction, or is there a deduction on those?
Well, ticket collectors, I think the diehard ticket collectors look for stubs. Those they don't care about price, they don't care about value. But the most valuable tickets out there are the pools because they're
Okay,
the rarest. Yeah, they are the rarest, and it depends on what it is. So, like, I wouldn't want a torn one of these, of like this one here.
right.
This one looks better just full. The Jackie Robinson Stills Home. Those World Series tickets just are cool looking tickets, with the Yankees.
What did Ticketmaster do to your world?
Actually, because I collect vintage only, it actually brought the value of tickets up because now any event now, I will tell you this, Buster did, which was a tough ticket to get, but going back to what you were saying, yeah, what they did was they kind of took tickets out of the market with everything's electronic, phone, whatever. And then they would print a commemorative ticket and send them either to their season ticket holders or you could buy them online. Which those I don't want a commemorative ticket. I want a ticket that actually had to get you in the game. So Buster went to when Curry with when Curry was playing the Knicks and did the 3-point record, busted the 3-point record. He actually went and this is his ticket to that game.
That's cool.
And then he had Curry sign it. And I got this from Buster.
That's cool.
And
That's
then
cool.
I looked for like when Kobe Bryant went number 13 in the draft. This is the 96 draft. And Allen Iverson went number 1. So this
Yep.
is the draft day ticket.
When he was traded for Vlade Divac.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I have Kobe's only. Now it's the only graded one. I've seen other full tickets for his debut, but
Okay.
it's the only graded one. But here's what I like about this ticket, okay? And it's memorializing him and his daughter, but in row it's row number 2, which is Gigi's number, and then in seat 8, that was his rookie number.
Yep.
So, I mean, you can't get a more perfect scenario when you can get 3 or 4 different aspects to a ticket and
Your
tie it
stuff
to
is
that player.
ridiculous. Next time I'm scheduling you for 2 hours. All right. We're on the home stretch here.
Okay.
What would advice you would give to somebody who says, you know what, this is really cool. It seems a little expensive. Is there a way to enter the market, without starting at the Jackie Robinson debut ticket? Any advice you would give?
I do. I would. I would pick an event that I wouldn't go for debuts are crazy for Hall of Famers, especially in baseball. But what I would do is like this. This is the first ticket I've ever obtained, and it is the Johnny Sylvester game with with Babe Ruth when he visited him in the hospital. He promised he's going to hit him a home run in the game. Well, he hit 3.
Yeah.
This thing was at auction. It was sold as the Johnny Sylvester game. It was sold as Babe Ruth hit 3 home runs in the World Series or whatever. So, but I knew by the date on the ticket that it was the Johnny Sylvester game, and that was my first ticket I picked up. So, do your research. Yeah, definitely do your research. But it's sometimes it's tough to they'll label, like I think REA had something on their auction a few months back. It was Jackie Robinson first hit, but it was
Okay.
also Duke Snyder's debut ticket. So so I know I collect tickets, which is Sean Daughtery on Instagram. He goes by I collect, and I know he collects first hits. So I actually called him and I said, Sean, are you going for this ticket? Because I'm not going to bid on it if you are. I was willing to spend a bunch of money on that ticket. And I think he ended up picking it up. But they didn't have it titled as Duke Snyder's debut. They had it titled as Jackie Robinson's first hit. Not too many people collect first hits. They just collect debuts.
Have you learned more about the history of the game, become more of a historian through this?
Oh, absolutely. My collecting has taught me so much about the game, the aspect, like even Montana's debut was nothing spectacular for Joe Montana, even though he played in every game in that season. I think his debut was he was a placeholder for the field goal kicker.
Right.
I mean, they were actually going to use him to throw the ball, but they didn't fake it. They were going to fake it, and they didn't do it.
Their star draftee out of Notre Dame ends up just holding for a kick.
Yeah, and then I also went on a hunt for the Nike Air Jordan 1 debut when he first wore them on the court. I ended up finding one of those. Yeah, first game with Nike.
That's sweet.
And then I have
that Bulls
his
red
debut.
is sharp with the PSA slab, by the way.
Oh, it is. This is the most desirable debut for the Jordan debut, and then it only has the Bulls on the back. So the other ones had all three teams: the Blackhawks and the Bear. I forget who else played in the arena. Anyway, so they had all three logos on the back, but that's his debut, and then I have his rookie card in a 10. His other said rookie card. There's the sticker, and there's the
regular, the 86.
regular.
I hate to call it. I just called a PSA 10 Jordan rookie a regular card.
A regular card.
Yeah, that's just a regular card. Yeah,
it's just an ordinary card. You could actually put this next to the mantle, and they could be on the same flag. Okay.
Right, exactly.
And then this is the 84 star.
So okay, so you got that slabbed right after they opened it up.
Yes, so it was in a BGS 8.5, and I sent it in with a minimum grade of an 8, and it came back an 8.
That's cool. Yeah, and I will say all the red, and maybe that's part of the appeal of the Jordan collecting. Just looks great in the slabs.
Doesn't it look good in the PSA slabs? And so I think back to your original question on passes, or I mean on collecting tickets. Start off, if you want to really start off on a less expensive journey of collecting tickets, passes are another good way to do it. So this is actually a pass to the National League, every professional game in the National League, to Mrs. John F. Kennedy. So this went to Jacqueline Kennedy. And I actually bought that from Brigandi. Well,
that's right in their wheelhouse. That's a crossover.
Yeah, that's right. The vintage stuff.
Yeah, that's very cool. And I will say, I have bought passes online. You can get them from media members at events, that you'd be surprised. And if you just want to get started, that's actually a very cool idea I hadn't thought of.
Yeah, so I actually even obtained a pass for the 47 season for Jackie Robinson. I can't find it here, but anyway, it was Jackie Robinson, and then it was on the slab on the flip. I had him put Jackie Robinson, good for Jackie Robinson debut and Duke Snider debut.
That covers it. Yeah. Now, will they registry that for you?
Yeah, they did. They put that. So PSA put that on there for me. Here it is. See if I can get it to where it shows up.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, so it says Duke Snider and 47, and then they put the dates on it.
See, that really makes it historical.
Yeah, so Duke Snider debut was really tough to come by. That's probably why it didn't get identified, because they didn't know it was his debut. Because it was 3 days after, 2 days after Jackie Robinson's debut. It wasn't an opening day debut. So.
It's hard to overshadow a Duke Snider.
It is. I mean, here, look behind me.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Duke.
Well, here, I'm going to show off one thing. This is my prize ticket. It's actually 4 tickets. It was the 93 All-Star game in Baltimore, but if you can see, they form a picture in the background.
Oh, they sure do.
And if you didn't have the exact parallel seats, you didn't get the picture.
So that came out of your season ticket book?
That was out of the season tickets we bought for the game. And it just happened.
It'd be nice to get Cal Ripken's signature on that one.
I'm holding off, and then I want to see if PSA can slab it that big. They should be able to.
I don't know. So back to slabbing, I won't buy a Type 1 because sometimes the Type 1s are oversized and you can't get
Right.
them in a PSA slab. They don't make them big enough. So I won't buy a Type 1 can't get slabbed.
That's exactly what I want to double check before I do
Yeah.
anything with it. Because
Yeah,
otherwise,
you would have to.
I love it on the wall.
Henry, call. I can give you a call. I'll email you a contact for the tickets, and they'll be
Okay.
able to tell you if you give them the measurements.
Okay, awesome. Well, this has been a blast, dude. Anything else that left on the table that you want to pull off?
Just right up your field, right in your field house here. There's Wheelhouse is Cal Ripken. This is a full ticket. Cal Ripken passes Lou Gehrig. Okay, this is a 10-10. So there's only two of them that are graded that high. So it's a high pop ticket, population, but in that grade there's only two.
Yeah, and I'm embarrassed to say I lost mine. So
did you?
I went.
You
I was
lost
at,
it, like
I was
you
at,
sold
I was
it,
at
or
the game. I was.
Oh,
at
you
the
did.
Game, and it
Oh,
probably
kid.
ended up. It probably ended up in my jeans. You know, I was just so zoned in on being there for the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I went to look for it a couple weeks later and couldn't find it.
Now is Camden Field? Is that like? I've never been there. Is it like Boston, where it's right in the middle of downtown area? I mean, it's just right in the middle. Yeah, I mean, you can just.
They put it right in the city, but they kept an original train station, the B&O warehouse, which is the longest building on the East Coast. So that forms a whole kind of social area in between that and right field. So people hang out and party and have a drink, and it's a good time.
You see that? That's the building you see all the time in the background. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. But that's original. In fact, Lincoln came through there twice. If you want to get historical.
No kidding.
You know, yeah,
that's a signature I'm looking for. Now I look for that in a full signature, like Abraham Lincoln, not A Lincoln. He'd like to sign A Lincoln a lot.
That's good luck on that. That's well out of my league.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah. I just picked up a Danny Tartable autographed Diamond King. So that's
a good one though. Hey, that's a good one.
All right.
You know, Mark, hey, this is another favorite. I know you're trying to wrap it up, but
no.
It's the Olympic debut for Muhammad Ali, 1960.
No
Yeah, that's a full one. Yeah.
Okay, so
that's a full one.
I have a full wall art of a young Muhammad. I absolutely in love. That's.
I love Muhammad Ali too. It's if you can see that. Yeah. Him knocking out Frazier, signed by both of them. That's a pretty big size picture too.
Down goes Frazier.
Down goes Frazier.
That's my terrible.
And then the Happy Birthday, Mr. President ticket.
The Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, Kennedy.
I bet Jackie wishes she used her baseball pass that night.
Yeah, it didn't go. That's right. Yeah, there's a whole story behind that with DiMaggio and wouldn't shake his hand. Oh yeah.
I was about to say,
like you said, we could book 2 hours.
but there you can put all that together as one collection.
That's the ticket I'm looking for, actually, for that game. For when he went to shake everybody's hand, he stepped back. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, very cool.
Yeah, that's not an easy one to find, though.
I mean, nothing you have is easy to find, which is why I love talking to you and seeing you. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. This has been my pleasure. This is so much fun. This is why we are all in the hobby. So thank you.
Danny, thanks for having me and letting me talk about my collection.
Absolutely. I'll catch you in the green room in 3 seconds. To everybody else, see you next time. And thanks for watching.